What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. Hopefully you guys have seen the market this morning, but we have done exactly what has been going on according to plan. You're starting to see movement in the market, and as we've been discussing, big volume was supposed to be coming, and we finally have received that injection of volume. It's been happening all across the markets. We see it in Litecoin, we're starting to see it in Bitcoin, we even see it within the ascending triangles that we were experiencing within Ethereum and XRP. We had a beautiful pop and a beautiful surge in the price. We will be discussing how high these will be going, if you should be taking profits, if you should be selling off, what's to come for the rest of these cryptocurrencies in the near future. Huge things to discuss in today's video. We're also going to be looking at DueDEX as well as the current coin market cap. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. This way you guys help out that YouTube algorithm. And remember to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or just want to talk, you can, feel free to do so down on my Twitter. Otherwise, let's move into today's episode. So guys, as you can see, I'm on my YouTube channel. Yesterday, we made a very interesting video. This was literally just posted 20 hours ago. What we've been waiting for, almost moon time. XRP, Ripple, and Bitcoin are getting ready to surge. That is exactly what is happening right now. You guys can see, we were discussing in yesterday's video, the sideways consolidation is basically a huge signal that the bulls and the bears are fighting, and we are going to experience big volume coming to the market, and it will ultimately decide which direction we want to take the market. So obviously, I'm super pumped, but if you guys see the market, we are doing phenomenal right now. The markets are up. We are just starting this run. It's only 11:45 here when I'm recording this video, and top 10 cryptos are all in green from 5 to 8%. We look very, very, very good, and I do expect us to continue to move up even higher within the next coming days and weeks. So there are some huge key takeaways that I want to discuss in today's video. Obviously, the markets are looking phenomenal as discussed in yesterday's episode. Litecoin and Bitcoin have very similar charts, and Ethereum and XRP also have very similar charts. So I want to discuss with you guys what exactly I do plan on talking about. Also, for those of you interested, I do plan on making an S&P 500 video very soon. For those of you that were interested in the economy, because hopefully you guys realize that we did discuss the recent drop, and then we're just starting to bounce off this bottom support and consolidate back up. We actually made a very big leap just in the past day alone, so it looks very nice. Very interesting to see this head up as well as the rest of the cryptos head up. Very interesting, very cool to think about. So I do want to dedicate another video to that later on. Obviously, let me know your opinions down in the comments below. But let's start off with Bitcoin and Litecoin. As you guys remember, we discussed Bitcoin and Litecoin have been seeing sideways consolidation for a very long time. Yes, we're looking at this on the 4-hour, so we do have to play a little bit of the strategic game right now. Don't buy in out of fear of missing out. Wait, be patient. This is a great sign, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be blasting up to the future right now. As discussed in yesterday's video, we want to wait to buy in once we are above this resistance, this wick right here. The great thing that I want to discuss is with this wick before, this was a 4-hour wick candle, and it immediately consolidated back down. But notice we have been slowly catching ourselves back up to that resistance over a course of a couple of hours throughout the night and into this morning. So that is a great sign that we may not just immediately correct back down just as quickly as we did back in the past here. So if you guys were interested in checking out my specific trades for this market and how we're actually profiting off of massive moves like this that could potentially lead to even bigger profits and gains, definitely make sure to check out my Patreon down in the description below. This way you guys can get access to all my trades as well as leverage and short positions. So that is a huge thing to take advantage of, and huge shout out to everybody who has already signed up for my Patreon. Huge shout out to you. Otherwise, you guys can notice that we are starting to creep back higher. This is a great sign right now. We're starting to break this pattern right here. We had a ton of sideways movement, and this was a huge a huge sign of big volume to come, and that is exactly what we saw. We saw it with Bitcoin, we saw it with Litecoin. The one concern that I have, that obviously a lot of you guys are having, is on the 4-hour chart, there are a few things we have to notice. The MACD has a good bullish cross. That is a bullish reversal. That is a great thing to see, but we are teeter-tottering on being overbought in the 4-hour. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, as we can head up much higher in the overbought market. But what we do need to consider is there may be a small consolidation, and then we could consolidate or move up even higher. If I show you guys the past here, let's give you an example of what I'm referring to. Where is it? If we go back, well, I don't want to go too far back, but basically you can see every time we end up moving up higher, we end up hitting a top, we break all the way up to the overbought market, we see a small consolidation, and then we end up moving higher. So this being that we are teeter-tottering on the top here, we may end with a small amount of consolidation before continuing higher. The one thing that we have to consider is we are setting higher lows, and that is a great thing. 1, 2, third is confirmed. We may head up a little bit higher, consolidate sideways, and then head up once again. These are the signs that we do have to pay close attention to. Same thing applies with Litecoin. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is we have to pay attention not only to the 4-hour but the daily as well, which I'll show you in a second. But as you guys can see, another higher low is in place right here. We're seeing that consolidation as anticipated. We're having that bullish cross, I believe, a bullish cross on the 4-hour. Yeah, we are starting to see that just right now. That is a great sign. And we are having a bullish cross on the middle moving average, which is another great sign. So we are seeing this pump in volume on these 4-hour charts. What I want to show you guys really quickly is when you look at the daily, you guys can see what it is that we're trying to attempt. We have a slow but steady uptrend on this on the RSI. That's the pattern that we want to follow to take us all the way back up to this middle moving average. So it may not be overnight, and we may not see it in, a day. It's possible, but we may not see it in a day. But ultimately, there's a good chance that if we continue to follow this up, we're going to be retesting the $8,000 resistance level. So even if we scale this all the way out to April 14th, which is literally in like 8 days, that would be maybe the time limit. In 1 week, we could be seeing prices retest the high-low middle moving average, because we're looking at this from a more long-term scale on the daily aspect of things. Now, we do want to discuss XRP and Ethereum, and then what to expect coming for these cryptocurrencies. You can see Ethereum and XRP had a much more aggressive pop compared to Litecoin and Bitcoin. That's mainly because of the fact that we're starting to see that ascending triangle formation. We have a clear resistance and a clear uptrend, and obviously the bulls won, and we saw a beautiful pop in the price. That is exactly what we were expecting, and there's plenty of room with this crypto to head up to that middle moving average. But we once again have to pay attention to the 4-hour, being that we are extremely overbought. We may see some consolidation. So I don't want you guys to just go full force, buy into the markets, and end up losing based off of FOMO. Like I said in yesterday's video, high risk opportunity would have been buying in closer to the 145 range. For Bitcoin, it was let me pull it up on the 4-hour, buying in above the 7,000, was it? Buying it above, yes, this resistance right here, about the $6,800. Buying it above that would have been that high-risk trade, but it would have paid off. But I think, in my personal opinion, I would recommend taking your profits right now. You would have made out quite a bit on leverage trading these cryptocurrencies, and honestly, we look okay. That's the big thing that I want to talk about. Even with XRP, we have the uptrend, we have the sideways consolidation on the top, the resistance. We popped from it, we exploded upwards, but we are now overbought on the 4-hour. So we may see some more consolidation. We may come back down to retest at a new higher low, and then ultimately head up even more. You can see on XRP we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 higher lows being in set, so that is a start to a new bull market, and there's a very good chance we'll continue to approach newer highs as we move further into April. Same thing goes with same thing goes with Ethereum. New higher lows being set all over and over again, but we're slowly going back up to retest that middle moving average, so we're no longer undervalued. So those are kind of the risks and procedures that we want to take right now. Yes, I know it looks great to be buying in, and theoretically your position would have filled on Ethereum if you bought in above the 153 and had a limit order there. We said there was a higher risk opportunity buying in right above that 145 resistance. Obviously, hopefully you guys are making out in some way on these movements right here. If you took advantage of Bitcoin, this would have been a little tougher. You wouldn't actually be in the market right now due to the fact that we're starting to be overbought. And I said to set a position above our previous high of about 72 to 73.50. That would basically indicate a run. And as you can see on the daily, we do have room to move up higher. It's just going to take a little bit longer. So I don't want you guys to panic just yet. I don't want you to just FOMO buy in if you haven't already bought in yet. Wait it out right now, because there will be other opportunities coming in the very very near future, but this is a great sign. This shows that the bulls are back in the market. This shows that we are still seeing promising results, and we should be heading higher up in the near future. And then lastly, to wrap up things with this DueDEX chart right here, this is a great sign for right now. You can see back in the past where we had this triple bottom, we unfortunately broke below here, but the fact is that we broke right above it, and that is a great sign leading to what could be a new run to the upside. Let's see how long this uptrend decides to take us. These are new higher lows being reset every day, and we may eventually continue to extend higher and higher and higher. We just have to be patient, and we have to close today's candle above this resistance. That is the huge takeaway right now. Currently, let's check out the daily. You can see that the daily has about 8 hours left in the coin, so we really need to be patient. You can see where we had that short squeeze right here on this chart. Boom, we have it right here, and we have it right here. This was the short squeeze. We eventually popped off from that, but we need to wait, and we need to consolidate, and we need to close this candle above here. So if you guys are being impatient, wait out this 8-hour candle. Wait till there's 10 minutes left. Wait till there's 5 minutes left before you set a market order or a limit order to see if we are still above this resistance. Otherwise, guys, that's going to wrap up today's episode. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.